Good evening, Wanderers. Before we get started tonight, I wanted to give another shout out to our newest subscribers. We now have 46 Spotify followers, and while Spotify doesn't provide follower information, please know that I see you and I'm grateful for your support. I would like to thank 9 of you for leaving 5-star reviews on Spotify. On YouTube, we also have 39 subscribers now, but keep in mind that I can only see your YouTube name if you've made your subscriptions public. And those of you that left positive reviews on Apple Podcasts, WBT Bill, BX Step 00, Rob's Wife, and Big Ol' Buddy, thank you very much for your reviews. For those of you that haven't left reviews, if you do, that really helps the podcast get noticed, and I would really appreciate it. And if you'd like to get perks and extra episodes, be sure to check out Buzzsprout and see whether you would like to subscribe to support the podcast. I hope you enjoy the episode. Welcome, Wanderers of the Night, to Petra's Dark and Dreamy, where shadows dance and dreams drift through the twilight. I'm Petra, your guide through this realm where the boundaries of reality blur and the mystical becomes tangible. Tonight, we plunge into the depths of the unknown, exploring stories that shimmer in the darkness and ideas that echo through the silence. So find a cozy nook, let the world outside fade away, and prepare to embark on a journey where the night is always young and the dreams are endlessly alluring. Are you ready to embrace the dark and the dreamy? Then let's begin. The Witch's Daughter by John Greenleaf Whittier. It was the pleasant harvest time, when cellar bins are closely stowed and garrets bend beneath their load, and the old swallow-haunted barns, brown-gabled, long and full of seams through which the moted sunlight streams, and winds blow freshly in to shake the red plumes of the roosted cocks and loose the haymow-scented locks, are filled with summer's ripened stores, its odorous grass and barley leaves from their low scaffolds to their eaves. On Esek Hardin's oaken floor, with many an autumn threshing worn, lay the heaped ears of unhusked corn. And thither came young men and maids, beneath the moon that, large and low, lit that sweet eve of long ago. They took their places, some by chance, and others by a merry voice or sweet smile, guided to their choice. How pleasantly the rising moon, beneath the shadow of the moughs, looked on them through the great elm boughs. On sturdy boyhood, sun-embrowned, on girlhood with its solid curves of healthful strength and painless nerves. And jests went round, and laughs that made the house dog answer with his howl, and kept astir the barnyard fowl. And quaint old songs their fathers sung in Derby dales and Yorkshire moors, ere Norman William trod their shores, and tales whose merry license shook the fat sides of the Saxon thane, forgetful of the hovering Dane. Rude plays to Celt and Cimbri known, the charms and riddles that beguiled on Oxus banks the young world's child. That primal picture speech wherein have youth and maid the story told, so new in each, so dateless old, recalling pastoral Ruth in her who waited, blushing and demure, the red ear's kiss of forfeiture. But still, the sweetest voice was mute that river valley ever heard from lips of maid or throat of bird. For Mabel Martin sat apart, and let the haymow's shadow fall upon the loveliest face of all. She sat apart, as one forbid, who knew that none would condescend to own the witch-wife's child a friend. The season scarce had gone their round, since curious thousands thronged to see her mother at the gallows tree, and mocked the prison-palsied limbs that faltered on the fatal stairs, and one lip trembling with its prayers. Few questioned of the sorrowing child, or, when they saw the mother die, dreamed of the daughter's agony. They went up to their homes that day, as men and Christians justified. God willed it, and the wretch had died. Dear God and Father of us all, forgive our faith in cruel lies. Forgive the blindness that denies. Forgive thy creature when he takes, for the all-perfect love thou art, some grim creation of his heart. Cast down our idols, overturn our bloody altars. Let us see thyself in thy humanity. Poor Mabel, from her mother's grave, crept to her desolate hearthstone and wrestled with her fate, alone. With love and anger and despair, the phantoms of disordered sense, the awful doubts of providence. The schoolboys jeered her as they passed, and, when she sought the house of prayer, her mother's curse pursued her there. And still o'er many a neighboring door she saw the horseshoe's curved charm, to guard against her mother's harm. That mother, poor and sick and lame, who daily, by the old armchair, folded her withered hands in prayer, who turned, in Salem's dreary jail, her worn old Bible o'er and o'er when her dim eyes could read no more. Sore tried and pained, the poor girl kept her faith and trusted that her way, so dark, would somewhere meet the day. And still her weary wheel went round, day after day, with no relief. Small leisure have the poor for grief. So in the shadow Mabel sits, untouched by mirth she sees and hears. Her smile is sadder than her tears. But cruel eyes have found her out, and cruel lips repeat her name, and taunt her with her mother's shame. She answered not with railing words, but drew her apron o'er her face, and, sobbing, glided from the place. And only pausing at the door, her sad eyes met the troubled gaze of one who, in her better days, had been her warm and steady friend. Ere yet, her mother's doom had made even Esek Harden half afraid. He felt that mute appeal of tears, and, starting, with an angry frown, hushed all the wicked murmurs down. "Good neighbors mine," he sternly said, "this passes harmless mirth or jest. I brook no insult to my guest. She is indeed her mother's child, but God's sweet pity ministers unto no whiter soul than hers. Let Goody Martin rest in peace. I never knew her harm a fly, and which or not, God knows, not I. I know who swore her life away, and as God lives, I'd not condemn a dying dog on word of them. The broadest lands in all the town, the skill to guide, the power to awe, were Harden's, and his word was law. None dared withstand him to his face, but one sly maiden spake aside. The little witch is evil-eyed. Her mother only killed a cow, or witched a churn or dairy pan, but she, forsooth, must charm a man. Poor Mabel, in her lonely home, sat by the window's narrow pane, white in the moonlight's silver rain. The river, on its pebbled rim, made music such as childhood knew. The dooryard tree was whispered through by voices, such as childhood's ear had heard in moonlights long ago. And through the willow boughs below, she saw the rippled waters shine. Beyond, in waves of shade and light, the hills rolled off into the night. She saw and heard, but over all, a sense of some transforming spell. The shadow of her sick heart fell. And still, across the wooded space, the harvest lights of Harden shone, and song and jest and laugh went on. And he, so gentle, true, and strong, of men the bravest and the best, had he, too, scorned her with the rest? She strove to drown her sense of wrong, and, in her old and simple way, to teach her bitter heart to pray. Poor child, the prayer, begun in faith, grew to a long, despairing cry of utter misery. Let me die. Oh, take me from the scornful eyes, and hide me where the cruel speech and mocking finger may not reach. I dare not breathe my mother's name. A daughter's right I dare not crave to weep above her unblessed grave. Let me not live until my heart, with few to pity and with none to love me, hardens into stone. O God, have mercy on thy child, whose faith in thee grows weak and small, and take me ere I lose it all. A shadow on the moonlight fell, and murmuring wind and wave became a voice whose burden was her name. Had then God heard her? Had he sent his angel down? In flesh and blood before her Esek Harden stood. He laid his hand upon her arm. Dear Mabel, this no more shall be. Who scoffs at you must scoff at me. You know rough Esek Harden well, and if he seems no suitor gay, and if his hair is touched with gray, the maiden grown shall never find his heart less warm than when she smiled upon his knees a little child. Her tears of grief were tears of joy, as, folded in his strong embrace, she looked in Esek Harden's face. "O truest friend of all," she said, "God bless you for your kindly thought, and make me worthy of my lot." He led her through his dewy fields to where the swinging lanterns glowed, and through the doors the huskers showed. "Good friends and neighbors," Esek said, "I'm weary of this lonely life. In Mabel, see my chosen wife. She greets you kindly, one and all. The past is past, and all offense falls harmless from her innocence. Henceforth, she stands no more alone. You know what Esek Harden is. He brooks no wrong to him or his. Now let the merriest tales be told, and let the sweetest songs be sung that ever made the old heart young. For now the lost has found a home, and a lone hearth shall brighter burn as all the household joys return. Oh, pleasantly the harvest moon, between the shadows of the moughs, looked on them through the great elm boughs. On Mabel's curls of golden hair, on Esek's shaggy strength it fell, and the wind whispered, "It is well." Thank you for joining me tonight on Petra's Dark and Dreamy. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to show your support for the show. If you are one of the first 100 subscribers, you can request your favorite literature read by me, Petra. Also, please leave a review on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube, wherever you happen to watch. See you next time. Keep sleeping soundly. Keep sleeping soundly. Don't let me wake you. It's Petra. I'm stopping by to tell you why I use Buy Me a Coffee to connect with my audience and grow my podcast. As a podcaster, Buy Me a Coffee has been a game changer for me. It's the easiest way for my listeners to support the show directly, whether through one-time donations or monthly memberships. The best part is that I get to keep it simple and focus on creating content. I love it because I can unlock steady income with membership tiers and recurring support. I share exclusive content, behind-the-scenes moments, and early access just for my supporters. And there are no complicated setups or hidden fees for you or for me. For you listeners, you can show your love with a simple click and also get special perks, shout-outs, and bonus content in return. You want to support the show? Click the link in the show notes to support the show. And be sure to tell everyone that you love Petra's Dark and Dreamy.